Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from Group 7. We'll explain about group investigation and also to stay to stray. The first one, definition of group investigation. Group investigation is a learning model whose learning activities are built with mutual agreements between teachers and students in terms of group division of tasks or subtopics to be studied, and also presentation schedule. The group investigation takes a model that applies in society, especially regarding how community members carry out the process of social mechanisms and also series of social agreements. According to the Ministry of National Education, in this study, the teacher should direct, help students find information, and also acts as a source of learning, which is able to create a social environment characterized by a democratic environment and also scientific process. According to Slavin, the steps of the group investigation learning model are as follows. A. Identify topics and also organize students into groups. The first one, student research several sources, such as several topics, and also categorize suggestions. The second, the student join their groups to study the topics they choose. And the last one, the teacher helps in gathering news and providing knowledge. And the next step is task planning. Number one, students plan together about what was learned, how to learn it, who does what, and also what is the purpose of investigating this topic. Okay, for the next steps, we'll explain by Naila.
All right, the next step is carry out the investigation. First, students collect information, analyze data, and make conclusion. The second is the group part contributes to the efforts of the group. And the third, the students discuss all of their ideas. The next step is prepare a final report. First, each group decides on the important message for their discussion. Second, each personnel prepares what will be reported and how they will organize the presentation. And the third, the group representative arranges that event committee for presentation planning. The next step is presentation. First, presentations are made for the whole class in various forms variety. The second, the implementation of the presentation must be able to involve listening directly live. And the third, listeners judge explanations and presentation based on agreed standards. And the last step is evaluation. First, each student contribute their thought on the topic discussed. And the second, educators and students work together in evaluating lessons. The next learning method is to stay and to stray. The definition is the to stay, to stray or TSTS method is a cooperative learning method that provides opportunities for a group of learners to share results and information with other groups. Spencer Kagan developed this type of TSTS for the first time in 1992. This technique provides opportunities for students to share information with other groups. Broadly, the implementation is to divide students into groups of 4 members each and are given problem to solve. After the group discussed, 2 people are staying and the other 2 are guests of the other groups. Those on duty to stay will share their group's answers or information, and guests will go home to report their findings from other groups. This is the illustration of the STS, and the next will be presented by my friend Jihan.
Okay, next is the principle of using to stay to stray. Number one, requires the ability to work in a team cooperatively. Number two, to train students critical thinking skills. Number three, increase students' motivation and learning outcomes. Number four, students are required to have a responsibility and be active in every learning activity. And the last is make make students actively work together in the learning process, both of emotionally and socially. Okay, next, to stay to stray steps. Step 1, the teachers divide the students into several groups heterogeneously. One group consists 4 people. Step 2, the teacher gives a topic discussion for every group. Step 3, students work together in groups to discuss the material that has been assigned. Step 4, after discussion, 2 students each group will leave the group and visit another group. Step 5, 2 students who stay in groups will share their work and information to their guests. Step 6, guests excuse themselves and return to their own group and report their findings from other group. Step 7, group match and discuss the result of their work. And the last step is each group present their work. Okay, so that's all for our presentation. Thank you so much and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.